So welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm Rico Hamilton and my guy.
John Henry, co-founder of both sides of the conversation.
We have an amazing segment for you tonight. We have some amazing people that we're going to be highlighting today that's doing amazing stuff in our communities. So we're going to be highlighting them. We're going to be having them talk about all the amazing things that they got going on. So for all of you out there that's watching, thank you for following us. Thank you for being a part of the both sides of the conversation family. John, did you have anything before I go into the right? I'm gonna go right into it. So if you got something, let it be said right now.
I just want everybody to see these amazing people and get to see the amazing work that they're doing. So let's jump right into it, Rico.
All right. So our first person, just 10 years ago, this person was being released from a 10-year prison sentence. He left there with a plan in mind never to return and to become a mentor to the youth of his community, wanting to teach them more than becoming productive members of their community, but also caregivers of their community. Since then, this person has become a beloved pillar in his community, often called Unc or Uncle Damien. He continues to accomplish his goals set many years ago, but has done so much more. Damien began the nonprofit Us for Us Bay Area a few years ago, and the impact has been tremendous on the community at large, but especially for the youth of the organization. So without further ado, I want to introduce this dude, Uncle Damien. I call him Posey Wozy because he's doing some amazing stuff. Like, I know he only mentioned Us for Us, but like he been doing like a lot of stuff. I mean, he hasn't even put a half of the stuff that he got going on. So without further ado, I want to introduce Uncle Damien.
Let me just say something, Rico.
All right, go ahead.
I got to say something about my brother, man, because listen, this brother is dedicated, never stopped working. You know, when Rico say he got his boots on the ground doing the work in the community, man, from juvenile hall to the youngsters in the street, feeding the homeless, Us for Us, City Eats, just doing amazing things in our community. He never cried, he never complained, he just grinds, he just keeps grinding. He show up to every event. He support all cultures, all communities. This brother went to Chicago to help clean up and stop the violence in Chicago. I mean, everywhere, man. The people champ is an understatement, man. He's a motivational speaker. Definitely, I know when we highlight people on the Hidden Gem show, people that do this work, and I know we don't like to be highlighted because we don't do it for recognition, but me and Rico believe that, you know, we have to give the flowers to the people while they living. We got to give them the respect. You know, it's too many of our great leaders in the community who passed away, and we got to talk about all the great work they do. So without further ado, man, we'll give your flowers today, man, as one of the gems, Uncle Damien, the guy, the man, the legend. Let's go.
Well, I guess it's my turn to speak. I appreciate you guys having me on here today. Like you said, people who do this work, we really don't do it for accolades personally, but I admire what y'all doing with the Hidden Gem show, because I am of the belief that you should champion the people that are making change and doing better in the community. This remind me of something I was doing a few years back, the Thank You Thursdays I was doing, if y'all remember that. Both John Henry and Rico were one of the thank yous that I did years ago, and Charlie, for individuals who are doing this work. But, I'm only as good as the people around me. So I'm grateful to have amazing individuals around me. I'm grateful to my Us for Us team, somebody that gave us that for all the amazing work we do. Real people in the community. You see my guy Charlie got his got our thing on, we banging it, we keeping it. we different, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we just I like to look at it as a add-on to all of the amazing things that are already going on in our city. You know, in addition to the great work that John Henry's doing, that Rico's doing, that Pedro's doing, Sabrina Simone. You know, all of the amazing organizations in our city, United Players, Project Level, Nay Ford with the Rebels, you know, stuff that Ron New's doing, everything ever at YCD. You know, our city's pretty dope, man. Our city's pretty different than a lot of cities, man, with the stuff that we got going on. Uh, Even still, with all of that, we still got a lot of issues. So, you know, it's very important that we continue the fight. That's why I don't really, that's why I don't stop, because it doesn't stop. So it's like, you know, how can I stop if it doesn't stop? You know, my outlook and my energy is different. Like right now, I'm reserved, I'm chilling. You know, most people know me being out there, pumped up, especially around the youth. But, you know, I utilize my downtime to reserve that energy and save it for when I need it, because you never know when you might get that call and I got to be out of here. I got to bust a move. I still live in the hood. I live in Hunters Point, you know, and I'm all over everywhere, every day to the best of my ability. So, you know, I'm just grateful to be, you know, in the same vein as all of these amazing individuals that you guys have had on the show and that you will have. You know, I'm just doing my part, man. I'm just blessed to be a part of it, man. And, you know, whatever accolades that, you know, I get, it's not about me. It's about we. I got an amazing team. Shout out to everybody at Us For Us. Shout out everybody at City Eats. Shout out everybody at YCD. Shout out to APRI. You know, like I said, I'm a CBO hoe. I don't care what they say. You know what I'm saying? I'm rock with them all. I got a Us For Us hoodie on right now because we knew, and, you know, we don't get a whole lot of support, so maybe I could shine some light on Us For Us, man. But you might see me in a both sides of the conversation shirt tomorrow, and the day after that, a City Eats shirt, and then the day after that, whatever, you know what I mean, Sabrina's got going, whatever. I got an SVIP hoodie in there too, and I ain't never worn SVIP, but I got a hoodie. They gave me a hoodie, you know, rest in peace, Jungle. You know, Big James gave me that when we was all outside the hospital, you know, praying for my brother, you know. So I keep that kind of stuff on my mind. I keep these buttons on my hoodie, man, to keep me humble and to remind people it's not about me, it's about the people. So, you know, my name on the screen, you know, I'm here, but it's really the people. I represent the people, man, in the streets and the community. Born and raised in this city, been through the ups and downs, you know. So, you know, I'm just blessed to be here, you know what I mean? Rest in peace to all the fallen soldiers, man. Rest in peace to all of the people, you know, lives taken unjustly. You know what I mean? Justice for Jace, Sean Monterosa, George Floyd, you know what I mean? Alex Nieto, all these amazing individuals, you know, who are not here with us, man. So I do it for them. You know, that's why, you know, they spirit running through me. So when you see me, you see all of them. You see all my native brothers, all their ancestors, all the Ohlone tribes, man, you know what I mean, is running through my veins. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love my nephew Charlie, man. He represents for me on that side. You know what I mean? You might not see me, but you see versions of me all over the city, believe it or not, you know. So it's a blessing, man, and I appreciate you guys for having me.
I just want to thank you again, man, for all the work that you do. I know I'm in a lot of places at a lot of, you know, in a lot of conversations, and you're like you might not know this, but like a lot of people appreciate the work that you do, bro. Like a lot of people, like your name comes up a lot when the work is being talked about. So, you know, definitely know that Us For Us is in everybody's mouth. So, you know, and I wish you prosperity and blessings in your journey, in whatever endeavor you take upon, because you're deserving of it. You're sincere. You didn't get a chance to talk about your work with Juvenile Hall.
It's committed. A lot of stuff I'll be doing, man.
What days were that?
We were at Juvenile Hall? Monday and Wednesday, you know.
Every Monday and Wednesday consistently for years. with Jack
and John
you know,
Henry. So
and
it's like
John Henry.
it's like, and Charlie too. I brought Charlie up there, and Charlie became consistent. Then he went to
And
college. He went
Pedro
to college.
too.
Yeah, Pedro too. But I didn't bring Pedro, but Pedro be up there too. You know what I mean? Charlie. I brought Charlie up there, and Charlie was consistent. And Charlie went to college, did his college thing, got smarter than all of us, then came back. You know what I'm saying? And did it, and kept doing it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could talk about stuff like, I'm helping kids, helping young people get jobs. I can't say kids because it's 13 to 60 is rocking with me right now. I'm blessed to help the kids in juvenile hall when they get out, kids in the community who just looking for support. I'm working with people getting out of prison, looking for support. A young lady just left my office who she just did 6 years. I'm helping her, get stuff together, man. It's just about just being there for the people, man, and falling in line with the greats, man. You know what I'm saying? Doing the work that people been doing. On Thursday, United Players celebrating their 26-year anniversary. You know what I mean? So I've just, I don't got, my daughter finna be 21. I'm not married, not engaged or nothing. So my whole dedication is just the community. I ain't got no other kids, you know what I'm saying? Except for I got 10,000 nieces and nephews throughout the city, throughout the world, man. I went to Vegas as well to help, with some gang stuff. I got a lot of nieces and nephews down there that I've been communicating with, helping, staying focused, So it's a lot of work to be done, man, because it's like, the devil not letting up, so we can't let up neither,
It's real. I mean, I just want to say thank you as well, man. I mean, you got big shoes. People can't fill those shoes, and to shuffle your schedule for both sides of the conversation is a privilege. We honored to just be in the presence with you. And you always reach out and keep us involved with what's going on. And we just appreciate you. And that's part of this Hidden Gem show, man, to just get more people to know who you are. There's already a large following, but to get more people, get sponsors, get people who want to do something. Because me and Rico hear all the time, people saying, we don't know how to help. We don't know how to get involved. How do I want to volunteer? Here you go right here. Good brother running stuff in the city. We could always use an extra hand, an extra ideal, some extra support. And that's why we got these hidden gems on here so people can get behind them and support them. So thank you again, Uncle Damien.
But I'm different though, man. The people that be saying that, man, they not looking hard enough. They not being real because, we ain't that hard to find. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can easily, because that's what I did. When I came home from prison, I did 10 years. So mind you, nobody's really trying to hire an ex-convict, ex-gangster, pimp, drug dealer, gun shooting motherfucker, especially at their nonprofit. So it was like, I started volunteering, and it wasn't that hard. I seen where the need was at, and I just started volunteering, man. And luckily, Valentina and Joe over there at the Procedure Center. Shout out to Joseph Silva and Valentina Sedano, who've been doing this work for hella long. They took a chance on me after a month of volunteering. You know what I mean? And and then I just set it off, and I haven't looked back since. But before I left prison, I had a plan. Like Rico said, man, I was blessed to get awards while I was in prison. So it's just an honor to be serving the people along with y'all.
Man, right on. We thank you very much, man. And you guys follow Uncle Damien, Us for Us, all the social media handles. Check them out. Thank you again, Uncle.
Check out my YouTube, Uncle Damien Speaks. It's a little bit more refined.
All right, Rico, you want to get to this sister, our next hidden gem?
Oh, for sure. So we got another hidden gem. Hey, we got a pretty hard lineup, man, of some folks that's like hard hitters in our city, man, that's really out there doing and putting in the work, bro. So I don't know if hey, we're gonna have a segment like this one again, my brother. So let me get on to this next person, man. So this person was born and raised in San Francisco, Bayview, Hunters Point neighborhood. She's a mother of 4, grandmother, and a longtime community activist and volunteer everywhere she has lived, including Las Vegas, Nevada, San Diego, California, and Oakland, California. She's a member of the Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers Committee, sits on the Student Site Council, as well as the African American Parent Advisory Council at Paul Revere Elementary. Member of the California Environmental Justice Coalition, Vice Chair of the Southeast Community Council, community organizer, policy advocate for green action for health and environmental justice, and co-founder of The Real Targeted. Miss Sabrina Hall.
Man,
Sister.
we have to get you on,
Sister.
Sabrina, man. We just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
And you're a powerful sister. You got a lot of information. You got a lot of
Man.
energy. And what comes with knowledge and power, you become a threat. So people get afraid. But we also know that you're about your people in the community. So we just go ahead and turn it over to you, sister. Keep doing the work you're doing.
Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate that you guys invited me on here, being with such fabulous guests. And I just got a message to all the hidden gems out there. You still a diamond, even if you a diamond in the rough, and don't forget to count your blessings in the middle of your hell, So let's just get right down to this. So like Rico said, I was born and raised out here. I didn't start with activism at first. Sometimes we got to get knocked down to wake up, and as Uncle Dame said, I didn't have to do time, but I am a federal felon. So, and I have been homeless before. So that really woke my game up. And I used to ignore a lot of people. I knew the problems. I've seen the problems in Bayview. I was aware of the problems all over, but, I was living my life. It took for me to be knocked down to really wake up to get myself in this movement. So when I decided to get in, I did start volunteering. I started volunteering at animal shelters. I love animals. But then I decided that, hey, everything starts from environmental justice. So I got a job with Green Action for Health and Environmental Justice. And the reason why I said that everything starts with environmental justice is here in Bayview Hunters Point, we have the radioactive shipyard. And Green Action and Marie Harrison and Bayview Hunters Point Mothers and Fathers, I would always see them actively fighting. And now that I'm a part of this, I am more aware. And they have actually educated me on the reasons why they are fighting. And I want to educate my people on environmental justice from a scientific perspective to let them know how environmental justice is also, a social injustice. If you sit in a contaminated place, contamination causes truancy. It's already been scientifically proven that truancy then leads to jail, and that's what I want to inform my people on. I got with Green Action. I get to do a lot of trainings. Many of our coworkers get to fly around, go to indigenous people's lands. I really love doing that, but I want my people to be more aware of the environment and how it is actually affecting us right now. You may not think that the sea level rising might not affect you right now, but it is. Climate change is very real. And with the fossil fuels burning, of course we want electric vehicles, but I want people to see it from a scientific perspective. You can see it right now with the electric vehicle, how environmental justice is affecting our social justice. The parking spots are all taken up. Right now during COVID, you see the restaurants still with their patios outside, even though the restaurants are open. It's only going to get worse. And the reason why I bring that up, and I call myself a scientific revolutionist, I bring that up because losing sleep, and in minority neighborhoods, we are losing sleep because of the transportation. And when you have lack of sleep, you get high blood pressure, heart disease. And, that's what my organization does. And I look at stuff from a scientific perspective. Right now, Green Action, we're working for zero waste and dumping and burning, clean air and clean water, clean up contaminated sites like the Indian Basin. I'm all for the park that they are trying to do at Indian Basin, but they still need to clean up the shoreline there. We're also working on energy and climate justice, protection of indigenous lands, environmental justice and civil rights, trying to clean up our community. We do have a website where people can go ahead and report illegal dumping, and it's called www.b as in boy, VHP, like Bayview Hunters Point, -Ivan.org. And the community members, any residents in D10 can go ahead on there and report any illegal dumping. You can take pictures. And it starts with cleaning up our neighborhood. It starts with environmental justice. It starts with our community getting out there and just being more aware of what's happening. We do also have a Bayview Hunters Point Youth Academy coming up. It's already full, but I did post it on my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Being, which is my Black Empowerment Network social media account. So if anyone is interested, we might have a few more spots available. You can hit me up at sabrina@greenaction.org. What else we do in the community? We do a lot of proposals. We do a lot of giving out supplies during the COVID, but a lot of people are not aware of us because we work behind scenes. We are at City Hall. We're on the Zooms. We're trying to speak against the proposals that's being done in our community behind our backs, and our people are not aware of it because of the verbiage. We have actively closed down the Dirty PG&E Hunters Point plant in Bayview Hunters Point. We have actively stopped polluting facilities in Oakland, California, in conjunction with Communities for a Better Environment in Oakland, California. We have partnered with the Gila River Indian community in Arizona. As I stated, we do a lot of traveling. We couldn't travel this year, but we did. I did get a chance to do the climate reality training with Vice President Al Gore, which I was very much appreciated of that training. But basically, I'm here not only to speak about environmental justice, but just to wake my people up. You know, I'm out here in this community. I volunteer. I helped set up the tent site at Martin Luther King Park when everybody was homeless before Pier 94. I will partner with anyone that needs someone to come out to a protest. I partner with From the Heart because we are more powerful in numbers than we are by ourselves. And let's see. I also wanted to touch bases on the fact that we are also in Arizona, California, Hawaii, Utah as well. And, you know, I'm all around the community. And I just want to help my people, and that's why I'm here. I appreciate being on the show. I did have a presentation, but it might have been a little bit too long. But basically, I'm out here just trying to save my people and just making people more aware of, you know, climate change, environmental justice, looking at the scientific perspective, how they are, you know, just selling us out. And we're dying over here. I really believe it's premeditated murder, in my opinion. But I'm just out here trying to fight and get people more aware. That's it. And I appreciate you having me on here.
And that's why we wanted to have you on, because you are definitely one of them hidden gems in our community, and you definitely have a lot of knowledge and information for our community. We definitely would love to, you know, have you on, John, if it's okay, to come and talk to our young men with our virtual young men's mentoring group to talk about environmental justice. I think that that's important for them to know about and get a head start about. So I would definitely love to, you know, set something up with you and have the conversation around you coming and presenting something to those young people, but then also coming on our Educational Thursday segment and just giving a whole educational segment and training to our people in the community on this platform. Also, at some point, maybe we can set up a Zoom meeting sooner than later. Thank you so much for all that you do in our community. When I first met you and we had that long conversation, I was like, this sister right here, she on to something. She's super, super, super deep. And that's what, you know, I told John, like, hey, we got to get her on. She's super deep, bro. Like she on the stuff that a lot of people in our communities ain't aware of. And I think that would make all our communities, make our community so different, is that we all is a different type of jewel and we all a different type of gem, but the value is the same, right? But some people or other people might not view it as the same, but I think that all of us are diamonds, gems, emeralds, rubies, that has the same value, but we have to recognize the value for ourselves. So you are definitely one of them hidden gems in our community, and we wanted to highlight you. I love you. Thank you for all the work that you do in our community, sister.
Thank you so much, Rico.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say before we close out, you're definitely welcome to come on and do that presentation. We'll set up a Zoom link. We'll set up a Zoom link. We
Yeah.
want that information to our people. So thank you again, Sabrina, for doing all the work you do, staying true to it, keeping your foot to the ground and making sure things are happening, making sure that our community is not being pushed over with the wrong policies or the wrong information. So thank you again for being a hidden gem tonight.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're going to move on to the next hidden gem. A sister that's so amazing, so important to our young ladies. I have to say this and emphasize this because we have a lot of young girls in our community, Black and brown communities, you know, looking up for role models. We have enough of the wrong role models, right? And we want our young women to inspire. We want them to chase their dreams. We want them to do the things that they believe they can do. This sister here that I'm about to introduce as a hidden gem, Simone Davis, not only is she a hidden gem, she is Miss Arizona, right? So for our young Black and brown girls out there, she is definitely an important figure for our young ladies because one, she's in Arizona. And we know Arizona has their challenges with inclusion when it comes to the Black community, recognizing Dr. Martin Luther King holiday. It is a red state. And for her to be a beautiful sister, to be represented as Miss Arizona, it is amazing. It's an powerful thing for our young ladies to see. And not only is she Miss Arizona, she is heading off to run for Miss USA. So I have to say we have to get behind this sister. I put the link in there earlier. We're going to have her put the link in there. She needs your vote. She needs your support. You know, we need to have a sister up there top representing Miss USA. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce you guys to Miss Simone Davis. She's the founder of MADE. She is a single mother. She came from St. Louis to a couple places across the country, landed in Arizona. Ain't no telling where she gonna go after this, man. But we just got to get behind her and make sure she get, you know what I'm saying, Miss USA. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce her through her corporation MADE. She's about empowering women. She's all about uplifting her sisters. And it's very important. So I'm just going to read her quick bio. MADE is about inspiring and bringing diversity through change. They inspire, educate, develop, and brand leaders for our future generation within our community. Educate and empower women to stand resolute in the face of adversity using core principles of mindset, agility, determination, economic empowerment through service and education. That's deep, right? So we need that. We got to keep building our sisters up. So without further ado, Rico, you got anything you want to say before we bring her on? Rick, you good? You guys?
Hey, yo. Hey, yo. I spoke to Simone yesterday, and like the conversation was like so deep. I didn't really want to get off the phone. You know how like you had like them deep conversations with somebody, and the conversation is so healing. The conversation is so uplifting. The conversation is so inspiring that you lose track of time. You lose track of the zone you in. Like you like in fourth dimension, right? So it felt like fourth dimension because she is on a whole different level. She reminds me of my conversation with Sabrina. Like it takes you to a whole different world when you're dealing with people who are like-minded like you. We are not the same. We are Martians. I for real. So I definitely just wanted to say, like, you're definitely amazing. You're definitely inspiring. I was showing my daughter your page and telling her your story. And my daughter, she is my little princess, and you know she's a real girly girl. So you know she loves you. So she's becoming a fan, and I'm like, baby, we're gonna follow her because this is how I envision you. In terms of you're beautiful, but not just beautiful on the outside. On the inside, you have a beauty that I recognize, and then also your intellect, and you're about being free and having owning business and empowering individuals financially and being about getting it. So I'm gonna let you speak because I mean you can tell your story better than anybody else, but you're definitely one of those gems. And please tell the folks out there what you got going on, please.
Thank you all so much. That was heartwarming for sure. Boosted me up a little bit. I appreciate that. But as it was already stated by John Henry, I am the current Miss United States, Miss Arizona United States. I am competing for Miss United States. I'm set to leave next week. Sunday is when I leave. But my whole little mission all started with me developing my own business, which is called MADE, which stands for Manifesting and Developing Empires. And a lot of events that I was hosting in Arizona, I've only been in Arizona for 1 year, but people were so amazed by the traction that I was gaining while in Arizona that everybody wanted to figure out, okay, who is this girl that's coming to Arizona? She's meeting the mayor, she's meeting council people, she's taking pictures, she's at their breakfast. Like, who is she? So I started developing a social media presence. And Manifesting and Developing Empires' core principle is mindset, agility, determination, and economic empowerment. So I had a lot of women coming up to me, young girls coming up to me, asking me, we've seen on your Facebook page that you are a mother of 4 children. And I'm 31, so y'all can do the calculation on that. And they wanted to know, how are you able to withstand, how are you able to have a full-time job? How are you able to have your own business? How are you able to be involved in the community? And basically what I told people is I had to change my mindset. My whole entire life, I have been the 1%. I had children early. I didn't learn how to read until I was in the 5th grade. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. So everything that I've ever had, I had to work towards. So I've always been the 1%. And once I got in mind, and once I really understood that everything that I wanted and everything I needed had to be with me changing my mindset, that's how I started developing those core principles for MADE. And that's what I started educating women on. Is first you have to change your mindset. Then after your mindset, you have to have agility and determination. Once you have agility and determination, then you are able to use your testimony and your story as a foundation as economic empowerment. Like, we need people to share their downfalls, their unfavorable fate. A lot of people go through things and sometimes shy away from it and don't want to talk about it. And I said, I want to use my platform and my history and my testimony to show the other Simones out there that you don't have to be ashamed. You could, no matter what you go through, whatever it is that you want out of life, as long as you have the right mindset, you can achieve it. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting here only been in Arizona for 1 year, 1 full year, and I'm Miss Arizona, something that I was told I couldn't be because I had children out of wedlock. And now look at me, I'm about to go compete for Miss United States. So my whole, platform is just encouraging women to just don't give up. Like, stand resolute in the face of adversity. As long as you have that mindset, you can conquer it all.
Wow, that's deep. Amazing, powerful stuff you got going on there, Simone. Definitely give people your social media handles, how to get a hold of you, how to vote for you, all that information. And then you can also put it in the chat, but verbally tell people so they can hear it and see it and follow you, and then put it in the chat as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So my social media handle, I have 2 Facebooks, Simone by Nature, SIMONEBY Nature, NATURE. And then I have my business Instagram, which is Simone is Made, SIMONE is Made, MADE. You can find me on Facebook, which is Simone, and then my first name spelled backwards, which is ENOMIS. So it says Simone Nomis. And for the voting, yes, for Miss United States right now, we have a People's Choice Award that I definitely want to win as well. And you, in order to place a vote, you pay $1. So say if you wanted to do 20 votes, then of course it'll be $20. And there is a link on my Facebook page, which is really awesome. A councilwoman reached out to me yesterday. We had our meeting today, and she's standing behind me. I made a post about that earlier today, and she was like, I love everything that you're doing. I feel like the city needs to see this. So I got to meet with a councilwoman today from Arizona, and she's gonna take me under her wing and make sure that I'm implementing things within our community. So already, I haven't even got my crown for Miss United States, and already things are taking off for me. So if you go on my page, there is a link that you could click on and you can place your $1 vote. I ask that you guys to please share. The more that we can get it out is the better chance that I have at becoming people's choice. And I just ask you guys to follow my journey, because I really believe this is the platform for me to reach the masses when it comes to women empowerment.
That's what's up. So you guys get behind her. You got my vote. And we just appreciate you coming on. Keep pushing through. Keep being an inspiration for our young ladies out there. And just keep pushing through. We got you. We support you. You got options. Whenever you need help, we're here to back you up and support you at both sides of the conversation. Rico, you want to say anything before we bring in the next Kim?
Yeah, I just want to say that, like, she has a lot going on, and just that story is many of our stories, and she said it as perfect as possible, is that our stories need to be out there. Our stories need to be told, and that's how we learn, and we learn sociably, is through hearing each other. That's the indigenous way of our people, and you said it as perfect as it possibly can be said. And in this moment that we're in, with all this racism that's going on, and the police shootings and all this different stuff that's going on, people of color, we got to stand together. We got to stick together. We got a sister here who represents our nation. She just doesn't represent Arizona. She just doesn't represent herself. She represents all indigenous people of all the tribes of the Americas, or of all the different of the world, right? So we have to support her, and the only way that she gets to the next point or the next level is through our support and us being her biggest fan. So thank you so much, Simone. Definitely amazing. Definitely an honor to have you on and representing not just for yourself, but also for all the women that's out there, and the little babies, the little princesses that you're going to attract also. So thank you so much.
All right, man. So we're going to move on to our next hidden gem. This brother right here is a powerful brother. I've been knowing him for a long time, coming up to juvenile, working. At both sides of the conversation, we're about unifying our people, Black and brown communities. This brother is definitely a staple of that, working with our Black and brown brothers and sisters. No other than our next hidden gem, I have to say, Charlie. We call him Charlie Hustle, but Charlie Morales, San Francisco native, doing a lot of stuff for our community. So I'm just going to go ahead and read his bio and bring him in and let him fill you guys in with the rest. So Charlie is a first generational college graduate who was raised in a low income, mixed status, Salvadorian family, consisting of seven sisters, 5 brothers, and 20 nephews and nieces across San Francisco. He is currently a higher educational counselor and a faculty member at Skyline College, Chabot College, and Lady College. He earned his associate degree from City College in San Francisco, his bachelor's degree from UC San Diego, his master's degree from the University of Southern California, and he is considering his doctoral degree in the near future as well. As an equity-minded counselor, he aims to bridge the equity gap for historically underserved populations. Charlie has served on the Male Student of Color Task Force. He's conducted research on the Latinx graduate students. He's piloted the Math Early Alert Program and specialized in building college pipelines for at-risk students that are on probation into achieving self-regulated learners. Whenever he is not counseling students, you can find Charlie collaborating with the local nonprofits, addressing the poverty, housing, and food insecurity, violence prevention with the COVID-19 and many other causes. He's definitely in our community, in our jails, working with our young people. He's connected with the Latin community. When you do the work, people know who you are. If anything is going on in our Latin community, definitely Charlie knows what's going on. We always reach out to him. He's a go-to guy. So without further ado, Rico, if you have anything you want to say about Charlie before we pass it over, you can. If not, we just go pass it over and let Charlie go ahead and let the people know what's going on with him.
I just want to say it's an honor to have Charlie on here, man, because, like, this dude is like a living legend. Like, like growing up in the city, like if you didn't know Charlie Hustle, man, you wasn't from the city. So, you know, I grew up in Fillmore, but I grew up also on 24th and San Bruno, right there near the back streets. And I knew a lot of folks around there. And, you know, he's one of those dudes that, you know, he from the community, and, you know, a lot of people, he just have an energy that people can gravitate to, right? Because he's outgoing, he's outspoken, he's a little bit different than most individuals. So, you know, I'm just happy to have him on and all the amazing stuff that he's doing. I know some of the history that he come from, and for him to go from there into where he's at now is like, it speaks volumes to the intellectual minds of our people. So without further ado, I'm gonna let Charlie tell the rest, because I mean, I know he got an amazing story. That might be like a whole segment within itself.
Hold on, I got to jump in and pull my OG card out, because he's also an Us For Us senior mentor. You feel me? I just want to make sure I throw that out there.
All right, mi gente. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We made it. We alive and free. Blessed to be. My name is Charlie L. Morales. I am a higher educational counselor. If you can see the back on top of my screen, it says San Francisco. It's the San Francisco flag. And so born and raised here in the city. My family moved all over. I was born in General Hospital, 1988. And so from there, my family immigrated from El Salvador, and they had 5 siblings at the time. And so they immigrated here. And then in 1980, and so my family's been here ever since. I have 7 sisters and 5 brothers. I got 20 nephews and nieces. And so growing up in a mixed status family, meaning some of my siblings were undocumented and some of our siblings were born here. So we had citizenship status. And we had to move. We didn't have the privilege of staying in one location. So we moved from the Mission District to the brick homes in Sunnydale. From there, we moved to the Bayview. And then we were fortunate enough to purchase a house at Crocker, Amazon, top of the hill area. And so ever since then, I've been across the other parts of the city as well. Lakeview, Potrero Hill, Portola, you name it, you know. And so I did my undergraduate. I went through K through 12 in the city. And Daly City, and then I did my undergrad work at UC San Diego. So I lived there for 5 years. I got my bachelor's degree, came back over here. I was in a variety of different ventures at that time. I even started my own party bus for about a year or so. And so I had a transportation company. I bought a party bus and then flipped it and then started driving people around. Because at that time I was a lot younger, had more energy. I like to party, even though I'm 32 years sober. I don't drink, I don't smoke. That's part of what goes into the environmental justice piece that Sabrina talked about. And so those conscious decisions and understanding our environment around us and how we're the Black and brown community are disproportionately targeted and prone to having these diseases and earlier deaths to the stress, these stress factors that they talked about. And so growing up in a big family, I was the 10th out of 13 children. And so I wasn't the most outgoing growing up. I was more shy and reserved, but I observed and I paid attention. And so that's one of my strengths. I was able to observe and pay attention. I can tell who's bullshitting and who's keeping it real and what's real and what's fake. And that's something I learned from a bunch of my OGs. And so I took that and flipped that into my college degree. I did not like education at all. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And so, but I understood that education is a filtering out process to have access to power. And if you can understand how the systems of oppression work and against our communities, predominantly the Black and Latino community, then you need to understand the solutions and what you can do and take ownership of your life to kind of counteract that. And so I did, you know, so it was trial and error for me because I left the Bay Area at 18 years old. I started off college homeless. I was homeless for a week. I put everything I owned in 3 garbage bags and I had to find housing and then classes. And then I was the only one out the Bay Area. And back then I used to rock a gold grill, an SF hat. And then I used to rock the jabots, the baggy pants and the tall tees that go to my knees. And so that was the environment that I grew up. That's what I knew. That's what was popular. That's how I attracted the ladies at that time. You know what I mean? And so as the years progressed, I evolved and learned and understood how all of these systems work. And so I ended up going back to get my master's degree at USC in LA. I did 2 years there. And at the same time, I came back. And so throughout all that time, what I learned about all my time in schooling is that I understand it at a different level to where I can come back. The whole point of doing all of that was just to come back so I could show and tell my youngsters the game, hey, don't go here. You should consider doing this, and allocating the resources that I can leverage from the university and the money that gets funded to the universities to help these youngsters either attain a job, get a certificate, get an associate's degree, learn English, and advance in any way possible. So it varies, and because our communities are so complex, there's so many issues at large. Before, when I was younger, like I said, I just stood back. I just like, man, how come our community's not, why am I seeing all my friends getting killed? Why am I at more funerals than weddings? Why is it, why in 2017, the cops killed 172 people and about 30% were Black males and about 40% were Latino males? Why is that happening? And so in order to understand that, I had to utilize the university to learn how to research and find these resources so that I could allocate to my students. And so to current day, I work at 3 colleges right now, Chabot College, Laney College, and Skyline College. I teach, I'm teaching 4 counseling classes right now. And so I leverage the knowledge that I gain through all of these organizations and volunteering and everything. I put it all together to lace my youngsters with the game to understand how to navigate the community college, because a majority of folks, there's a bunch of barriers that exist in policies and practice that do not allow Black and brown folks or people of color to graduate and attain their degree so they can get a better paying job and access to better health and access to more power. And so that's kind of more the realms that I do for my career now. But at the same time, I knew that it was going to take a lot more than just being at the schools, because the people that I wanted to reach were not in the schools. They dropped out, they got pushed out, they got expelled, they got locked up. Some of them are slanging drugs. Some of them are, the violence that existed that I see in the day-to-day affected me very negatively. And so I finally took power into my own hands, and one of my nephews got killed in 2014. And that's how I kind of got connected through Uncle Damien. He came to support. And so we connected, and not till a little later, he brought me in. And I asked him to come to speak to my class when I was teaching at Leadership High School in the city. And so he was with United Players at that time. And so they came in and spoke to my youngsters, because I work with males, predominantly males there at that time. And so from then he was like, hey, we have this going on. You want to come out? So I just started coming out. So from then we've been feeding the homeless with the City Eats. He brought me into Omega Boys Club on Monday and Wednesday nights. That's how I got to meet most of y'all here today. And then we also provided food. And then we also did a bunch of different mentoring and different events. And we actually pretty much help solidify and uplift the different community-based organizations throughout the city. So like we support the All NSF and the mission. I'm also a volunteer for Carnival San Francisco along with my homie Pedro. And so we're interconnected. The city is blessed to have so much talent and so much fuego within our people. And that's the thing about the Frisco game. It's just like, you know what? We don't got to wait for you to come up with rules or opportunities. We're going to create our own opportunities. We're not going to knock on your door. We're going to create our own doors and create our own tables and create our own equity. And that's pretty much what I'm all about. And so if I gotta come out and show my youngsters how to tie, I'm gonna go to juvie and do that, because that's what we did, right? and to show them some game. And then if they need some professional headshots, I'm gonna whip out the cannon and I'm out to shoot them, but not this shoot. I'm out to shoot them and elevate their game to be professionals. And so that's the longevity. And we're in essence, we're hope dealers. We're providing hope to our youngsters and community so that we don't have to see them dead or go to any more funerals, because that is the divisive, divide and conquer mentality that exists. And so in order for us as a community to come together, we have to address the issues that's happening at the different levels and stop the beef, drop the guns, and bring the peace, and then break bread and then move forward. And so by supporting at any level possible for our leaders is how we're going to move forward. And so that's kind of where I want to leave it off right there.
Man, that's deep, man. I just want to say thank you, Charlie. You know, your story is a testimony, you know, for our young people out there that believe they can't get it, or they can't do it, or they can't achieve goals. Here's a Latin brother that came from nothing and made something out of his opportunity, didn't cry, didn't complain, went through the trials, went through the tribulations, still fighting, still giving, still handing it back, still passing the torch, doing the work, man. This is what this is all about, man. And like Charlie said, that's how we are in Frisco. We ain't gonna wait. That's why me and Rico, we doing this Hidden Gym show, right? We're not gonna wait for the news media to pull up to tell our community how much great work we doing. We're not gonna wait till the high headlines go to be like, hey, they doing the work. You know, we want to make sure we highlight y'all and let them know, hey, the community go highlight you. We're gonna let our community who deal with you and work with you know that this is what's going on. This is what these brothers and sisters are doing. Tap in with them, help support them, keep uplifting them, keep bigging them up. And that's what we about, man. So just want to say thank you, Charlie. I know the work. I work side by side with you. You know, just seeing the young people reaction when we do the stuff we do, me, you, Damien at the jail, like you said, teaching them how to tie ties, the confidence, the esteem that they feel. You know what I'm saying? The swagger. You know what I mean? That belief and that hope and that fire that's lit in them, man, is priceless. People don't even know. And just thank you for being behind the scenes, doing stuff, still tapping in with the community, still reaching out and helping out. So thank you very much, Charlie. Rico, you want to say something final before we move on to our last Hidden Gym?
I definitely always got something to say. I just want to say, you know what? I commend you, Charlie, for your hard work and everything that you have done and that you continue to do, especially the approach that you take without biasness, and you take the humane approach to everything. And I think that's a blessing. A lot of people don't know how to do that, and just listening to you, it sounds like you care more for humanity opposed to the individual sections that we section things off into. And that's amazing. That's a blessing within itself. I love you. I care for you. I don't know if you remember, I met you a long time ago when your nephew passed away. That's when I actually first met you. And you know, I send love out to you even around that. I know it's still hard for you and your family losing anyone. You know, my cousin was killed due to police violence. And it's hard every single day for me, you know, waking up knowing that I'll never see his face again. But I definitely commend you for your strength. You're a perfect, I mean, like you're a perfect example, even if you're not working with people, right? Like your story coming from, you know, San Francisco, that big of a family, most likely, you know, you come from poverty like all of us, and, you know, and you someone who said, you know what, I'm going to beat the odds. I'm not going to become a product of this environment, and I'm going to create my own product. And I can hear the product, and when you talk, I see the product in your face. You know, you got a glow that, you know, like, you know what I mean? It's just what it is. So, you know, keep up with the amazing work. And I think, you know, John, you know, again, I know everybody that we talk to, I'll probably say it. We definitely need to bring him on to come talk to our young mentees, young men. But then also it'll be good to have him come on one of our educational Thursdays and educate some folks on something. We definitely should set something up with him. That'd be amazing.
Yes, definitely. We're gonna do that. Charlie, we definitely
can I give him one more little prop, John Henry? My bad.
Go ahead.
So what he didn't say, and I'll always say this, first of all, he should have gave me more props, but that's but Charlie had the cleanest 6'9" Camaro in San Francisco. I don't care what nobody said. And he sold that so he could go to school for his education, man. That was enough for me.
Man, that is true. I forgot about that. That is powerful. You talk about choices and sacrifice. He took $100,000 old school, sold it to pay for his college education. Now that's deep. And that just go to show you how important your education is and what he did with the decisions. And we try to teach our young people.
I wouldn't have done it.
Make the young people make the decision. So we getting close here.
Another one is coming. Another one is coming in his blessing. So, you know what I mean? He sold that one to get another one. So it's going to come. You know what I mean? It's just not in the time that he probably wanted. But it's already being manifest in the air through his higher power. So
I'm going to buy him one.
So
we should go have fun.
So now we coming down to our last hit, Jim. I don't even consider this last because, man, Pedro, man. Y'all about to I'm about to introduce y'all to Pedro Marroquin, man. This brother, like Charlie, man, is all about our young people. He about our adults, rehabilitation, giving back to the community. Man, I reached out to this brother because I know the work that he do. If you look in the dictionary, you look up compassion, humility, humanity. This brother picture should be there, man, because he does work and he treat all of our people that's locked up, incarcerated as human beings. He treat them with dignity. They listen. He give them game. He's consistent. He work with them. He don't give up on them. He don't sell them a dream and say, hey, when you get out, I'm going to work with you and I'm going to leave you behind. He's always gathering information for the community. I mean, so much stuff I could say, Pedro, man. I've been knowing him for a short time. It's been about a year and a half or something since he's been at juvenile. But I talked to Ayula, a couple of my other people that see the work that he does in the county jail. People talk highly about you. A lot of our Latinx brothers that came from juvenile, we connected them to you and at the San Francisco County Jail. A lot of them said, man, he's been a blessing. He's been helping. He's been, just reaching out, getting information back to the community, doing things. Pedro, man, just want to say thank you as a Latin brother, helping out the Black and brown community, man. I'm going to go ahead and read your short bio. And I know it's short, but it's a lot that you do. But just want to say thank you and thank you for finding time to come on for us tonight, man, because I think this is important as we continue to unite the Black and brown community. We come up with more things to keep us involved and figure out strategies. It's just important to have you and Charlie here tonight. And I'm just going to read your bio and then I'm going to turn it over to Rico and then you. So Pedro is a San Francisco educator and a community ambassador. He's currently working for the San Francisco County Jail, the Juvenile Hall. He's a coordinator at the Mission Food Hub, San Francisco Unified School District students, City College graduate. He obtained his teacher credentials from San Jose State University, still doing the work, still handling his business. I'm going to go ahead and turn over to Rico. You want to say something? Then I'm going to pass over to Pedro and let him go into all the great things that he's doing and the things that he got upcoming.
Yeah, I just want to say I've heard of Pedro in the work that I do in the county jail. So I used to run a program in there called Raw Talk for Life, and I used to come in and do a lot of motivational speaking and talking to folks. And it was through Five Keys, also through Joanna Hernandez and Ayula, Clayton. Oh man, it's a whole staff up there that that was up there, and definitely your name is one of the names that I kept hearing. I never got the opportunity to meet you because my time at the jail kind of got cut short because I was ready to transition to new work. But definitely, all I ever heard was amazing things about the work that you're doing, and folks like Rico, you need to connect with Pedro. I'm like, I don't know him. I would love to, but right now I don't want to do the jail work. I want to do the violence prevention work. That's where my heart is. But I definitely want to get back into the work. So right now it's going to be definitely the opportunity to get back in. So, before you get on or before you go, can you please leave your information? Because I would love to connect with you and figure out, things that I can do to support you in your efforts inside the jail.
Yeah. Thank you very much. First of all, I just want to thank you guys for having me here. I'm very honored to be next to Sabrina, Simone. I had a chance, Enrico, I had a chance and the privilege to work, with John at Juvenile Hall. I had the privilege to know Charlie for a couple of years, a lot of years now, and some of his family. And I had a chance, to work with Uncle Damien. And I also have to say, I seen Uncle Damien working with and doing things, with Anthony Percent. You guys work and doing good things, and that's what motivates me. That's what motivates me to keep going. A short little thing that I'm going to say is I had a mentor named Rosario Anaya from the mission, very well known through the city with the mayors, the governor, Dianne Feinstein, everybody. And then she took me under her wing and explained me a lot of things. And I used to watch her, how she did things. And she taught me how to shake hands with people. And then she used to tell me all her stories about Ms. Dolores Huerta and Mr. Cesar Chavez. And I was like, oh yeah, so you used to have lunch? And she would tell me all the stories. And that opened my eyes. And I remember reading a quote from Dr. King. It says the most important question is, what are you doing for others? And I see myself, and then when we hit that fork in life, right? Either you're gonna go right, you go left. Either you're gonna be a headache for your family, and most of all, you're gonna be a headache for yourself, or you can go to school and try to do the thing, normal. And I decided, you know what? I have to spend my time in education. I want to do good. I want to give to my community. And that's how right now, I end up being, coordinating and helping, volunteering at the Food Hub over here in the Mission. We also do, that's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 to and up to like 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And Thursdays, we do COVID testing. And now we're doing testing for kids from 10 to 2 at 19 in Florida over here in the Mission. So if you have a kid, you could always bring them. They're going to get tested. If you want food, then you come and get tested. And I volunteer there. I said it before that to me, the word community has a big U in the middle. It has a big U in the middle. And it's how you get involved in the community. And how am I helping others? How is it that, and I realized that helping others is the way I help myself. I also like Charlie, I quit drinking. I don't do drugs. I don't like the feeling of giving my number one source of survival, which is my mind. And I keep the same, right? But to everybody that is listening to us here, we might not have what you need, but we got something for you, something. We might not have everything that you need, but we might have something for you. We could give you a resource to education, jobs, training, and you got to take that. You have to, we have to be humble. If one common denominator that you could take out of all this chat, this whole hour, is that all the panelists here, we knew that we had to have a mentor. We knew that we had to lean on somebody else's knowledge to move ahead. We reached out to somebody. I reached out to somebody. I had a mentor. So if you're out there and if you want to change, lean on somebody else's knowledge that is going to do good for you. Reach out. Be a mentor. Get a mentor. Be a mentor or get a mentor. It's something, that we have in common here. And there's never too late to change. You know, I work at county jail. I go to juvenile hall. I used to go to San Quentin. And I'm a big believer that good people make mistakes. We all make mistakes. There's a reason why we have erasers on our pencils. There's a reason why we have bumpers on our car. The backspace key on the keyboard is because we make mistakes. But the whole purpose of life is to be a better version of yourself. 10 years ago, I say 10 years ago, you should be different now. Tomorrow, you could change today and be a different person tomorrow. But you got to change. You make that change happen. Don't just get stuck on one day. Better yet, say this is day one, which is totally different. One day I'm going to wait. You got to say day one. I learned from all of you guys here. All you need to have is just my phone number or my email, and try me, test me. I might not have everything for you, but I have something. I could lead you to a job. I could give you a job information or where to get training at the Success Center. A lot of places, education. And if I don't have it, I'm resourceful enough to see if Uncle Damien has it, or Charlie, or maybe Miss Simone has it, or Miss Sabrina has it, maybe John Henry, or maybe Rico has it. But that's the way that you have to approach life. Keep going. You heard all this motivation here, and the common denominator is volunteering. Because when you volunteer, you shake hands, you network, and then you get opportunities. And I think at this time in life, we have to make the right decisions. Like Ms. Serena was saying, think about your eating habits, exercising, take care of your credit score. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes in a package. When we at county jail, I get to work with people in a position when the mind is open. But I pray and I hope that when people get out, to stay committed and be truthful to what they said when everything is dark. But it's possible. We see it here. We all make sacrifices on what we do. And that's pretty much it for me. And I just want to encourage, people to reach out to somebody, to be a mentor to somebody. 5 kids, 4 kids, 2 kids, 1 kid, it makes a difference. But be a mentor, have a mentee. I invite you. And if you don't have somebody to look up to, get a mentor. I just can't say, how happy I am and how honored I am to be part of this this conversation. And I'll give my phone number. That's all you need. Text me, or my email right there. I don't know if you're able to see it. All you have to do is just send me an email, and then I'll be pleased, and I'll do my best to assist you on whatever you need. I just want to say thank you, John Henry. I admire the work you do. Uncle Damien, I admire the work you do. Charlie, I admire the work you do, everything that you've done. I even forgot, that we do Carnival together. Miss Sabrina, I admire the work you do. And I also have to say, Rico, thank you so much for having me. I admire the work you do. Miss Simone, I wish you the best. You're already a winner for everybody. And
right.
You give us that sense of pride. Like, that's Miss Arizona. I'm gonna tell my friends now. It's like, there you go. We're in a panel together, and that's what we do. We gotta stay together. We gotta roll together, like John Henry said. Black and browns and everybody else, our Filipino brothers, everybody. We gotta stick together, because together, we it's more powerful. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Gracias a todos. Thank you for everything, and I appreciate it.
Man, for sure, Pedro. See, it was a reason why you was the last one to speak. The power of your words, the motivation. Now I can't sleep. See, you got me pumped up. I've been trying to come down, and now you done pumped me up. I can't even go to sleep now. 4 hours of sleep just went to 2 because you just motivated me. You definitely always inspiring. I mean, you didn't even talk about the coffee business and the beans that you're doing for our young people, but it's okay because we know you're doing the work. And if people want to find out more what you're doing, definitely reach out to him. He got his email up there. Reach out to Pedro, good brother. And like he said, united we stand, divided we fall. here at both sides of the conversation, we believe in the 3-pack love: food, knowledge, and education. That's what we always have to give, right? And to make change, Pedro, what do we tell the kids at Juvenile? You want to change, you got to change people, places, and things. And that's our mission always, trying to get them to think about that. And it's very important. And thank everybody that's on this panel tonight. Rico put a question in. I know it's getting late. We just want everybody to take a quick second to look at that question while Rico says last words. And then we just want everybody to kind of answer that question, see what you guys think, what we could do, because part of both sides of the conversation, we believe that through communication, there's a process of healing, and we always want to try to come up with a solution, right? We always hear about the problems, but we also want to hear the solutions and feed that information. So I'm gonna let Rico say his last words, and then whoever want to go first to answer the question, go ahead.
Hey, somebody just got shot on down the street, man. I gotta go. They just hit me up, but I appreciate and love all y'all, man. Stay smooth.
All right, Uncle. All right, David, hit me later on. I'll be up.
Sad.
Man, and never stop, man. Never stop. This is why this is why it's important to have mentors. It's important to have people doing work. Y'all see the type of communities we dealing with. This violence won't stop. Not only is the cops killing us, we got our own people killing us. Black on black crime, man. We got to stop it. Get it together, young people. Go ahead, Reek.
Yeah, so I mean, I just want to end it with, just you guys are all amazing. I mean, this is the representation of our community right here. This is the representation of who we all are. To me, like the way I was raised is a lot different than most folks. So I recognize and I notice and honor our indigenous ancestors of the native land, and this here is the representation of that. I know that we all have different subcultures and things that we have taken on, but this is what our community is represent. Like this what represents our community right here. Each individual that's on here, all different in all different type of ways, but have a common goal, and that common goal is the upliftment and the empowerment of our indigenous people. So, I just want to commend you all for all the hard work that you do. Keep up the amazing work. Anything that both sides of the conversation can do to support, we are 100% more than willing to support and have each of your backs. The question that I posed inside the chat is a question that I always think about, because I actually went to Bryant Elementary and I was raised around so many diverse people of color who come from all different walks of life. And my grandmother, being a woman who grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, and her birth certificate would say mulatto, and her siblings says Negro. She taught us about humanity, and that was the basis and the foundation of her teaching, is humanity, and not segregating us and being separate from Black, white, Latin, and things like that. She said you judge people based off of how they treat you and what they can bring to humanity. So that's why I put that question in there, because I think that us as communities of color have to unite. And I think if we learn to unite more, how much power that we would have. Man, like we would have so much power. And we would definitely be unstoppable. So, whoever's prepared to answer the question, you can just hop on in.
I could kick it in.
Okay, I'm going to hop on in. Oh, go ahead, Charlie. Go ahead.
Take it, Sabrina. Take it.
Okay. Well, me personally, and this is my own opinion, how I feel we can uplift the Black and brown communities is if they would actually show us, like the society, our town would show us that they are willing to help uplift us. And to me, that starts with education. It started in the school. It started with the what they were teaching us. And I think right now in Baby, or just all around, even in the mission, I think we need more sense of belonging, whether it be murals, whether it be ads on the Muni bus stop, whether it's an ad up on a big billboard. You know, we just need more sense of belonging, and for them to at least act as if they are listening to us. And I feel like that would be able to kind of unite us. Another way we could probably unite the Black and brown community is through funds. You know, a lot of people don't want to speak about it, but when we have that big unemployment stimulus, a lot of people were happy. It wasn't a lot of killings and stuff because they had that money. And if the wages would go up, better food, better education, better transportation, I really believe not just Black and brown could come together, the whole community will be able to come together because you'll be at a better mental state to deal with stuff. And, you know, that's just my opinion. I'll pass it on to Charlie.
So to build off Sabrina, I believe that a collaboration is a big way that we can unify, because through collaboration, we're able to communicate and we're able to understand the heartbeat of our community. And when we understand the heartbeat, we understand what's going on. So we can address those issues or create programs or that can address those issues, just like the mentoring program that y'all have created. Right now, just since it's due to COVID, you have to do it virtually, correct? The one thing I can think of is the backpack giveaways that the Samoan community does, that All In SF does in the Mission District, and it's popped up around the different neighborhoods in the city, which is a great way to do it. One thing, another one is to create your own counter narratives, which I believe a lot of people are doing right now with Project Level and their clothing brand. They're creating their own narratives of how they want to tell their stories, and so we can see more of that and at a mass media national level. Another one is the one that I was brainstorming with, thinking is to create like a brunch for us, specifically just for the males, and address the issues that are happening with the Latino and Black males to unify through breaking bread together. That's another way. Honesty and transparency always helps. When there's an issue that happens, we need to have oversight of our community so more violence doesn't escalate, because you see these different neighborhoods beefing and more people getting killed left on all sides. And that's a lose-lose situation for everybody, and exacerbates the issue for everybody, creates a lot of tension and stress for everybody. In terms of uplifting the community as well, education, but not just formal education. I think the higher education and K through 12 public schooling needs to be reimagined and revamped, because a lot of my folks, the way I grew up, we're a multi-sensory, we're like high touch, we're more oral, we're more physical. And so it's different types of teaching that needs to happen. And so that's why I get involved at a variety of different community organizations and different events. I'm for the cause, not more just say one organization, because there's so many of us doing the same work. We need to leverage off each other's resources. I think Kevin Epps said it the best from his documentary, Straight Outta Hunter's Point. He said that we need to come together like a baseball team. When Simone Davis is up, we're gonna rally behind her, and we're gonna support her 100% and wait until she hits a home run. Once she hits a home run, the next person is up. Pedro is up. Whatever he's doing, we're gonna rally and support and put resources and invest in his cause, and then until he hits a home run. But instead of just one person at bat, we can have multiple people, as long as we're on the same page. And that's how we invest and uplift the community, and ultimately go into power. Power really goes into property. Once we own our neighborhoods and own the real estate in our neighborhoods, we can do a lot more. And so we are yet to get there a bit. Let's see where these funds from the city that's allocated to the Black community. I forgot how many millions were going to be allocated to the Black community from the mayor's office. And then I believe they said 28 million for the Latino community, because half of the people with COVID are Latino right now. And we're only 15% of the population, as opposed to, and the Black population is what died down to 3%. That's a disgrace. That's a disgrace. We need to bring our Black community back together. And so, because Latinos are the majority of California. We're 15 million deep, 39% of California. There's a lot more we can do in solidarity to support our Black and brown brothers and every ethnic group for that reason. And so those are some ideas.
Simone, you want to answer that?
Yes, absolutely. So mine is coming from a more personable experience. So for me, how we can unite our communities is basically not being afraid to stand up for what you believe in. A lot of people aren't made to be leaders. A lot of people don't have the courage to go out and speak out. Like for me, I live in Chandler, Arizona, and I be holding my police brutality protesting, and it started with me and just two of us. Saturday, it's just us, and what happens is our community started recognizing that they may not have been able to stand out with us, but they were bringing us water, asking us, okay, what is it that y'all need? Can we get y'all some signs? If you continue to stand up and believe in your mission, other people will tag along, but there has to be some consistency. There can't just be, oh, I'm going to support this because it's hot on social media right now. I'm out protesting, whether it's just me and my children or me by myself, or I'm out speaking about empowering women if I'm just the only one that showed up to my event. So it has to be some consistency, and we have to literally stand up for what we believe in, because you never know who's watching. They just didn't have the courage to come out and lead. They needed a spokesperson like me, like you. And when they see that, then they'll be able to pour into your community. But if there's no consistency, where we're going to, we don't know if it's just a meme or something hot on Facebook right now. So that's my personal take on how we can unite our community.
Pedro.
I just want to add to that, that I think, from a different angle is, don't wait for things to happen. You got to make things happen. Like Simone was saying, take the initiative. Don't be afraid to do it. And better yet, think about doing one good deed every day to somebody, to your neighbor. Not impossible, just at least one good deed every day. Sikhism, religion from India have that. You got to do one deed every day. Don't forget to help anybody despite the race, economic status. You just got to help and do good for others because you're doing good for yourself. Talk to your neighbor. Talk to help your family. It doesn't matter if they're Chinese, if they're African-American, if they're in whatever. Do a good deed, and that's going to spread. And that's how you bring community together. That's how you bring your community. Volunteer again on your community and be part of it. And then your network's going to grow, and then you're going to get people together. And I think that's how we're going to make change. Because a little bit, then you know 10 people that you cool with, and they're going to be cool with you. And at this time, do not expect to get paid for this kind of job, for this kind of situation. You got to start thinking different of, oh, I'm not going to do nothing for free. They're not going to pay. For this, you need to have a different sense. You need to have a heart for your community. Because if you expect to get paid, this is the wrong place to do it. You have to give, and then you'll receive after. But first, just do it. Do a good deed. And that's why I'm saying, just do a good deed, and then in your community and people, and then that's going to save us all.
That hard work from the heart.
Right. So, Rico, you want to go ahead and say we're getting close to the time? It's almost 8:30. I just want to say I agree with all of you guys. I believe what Pedro just said is the most important. As a community, we have to learn each other's cultures. We have to learn each other's differences. We have to heal with the trauma. We have to become financially educated with financial literacy, with home ownership, so that we can make changes in policies, or we can do things to protect our community. We need more people that look like us to educate us. And to get there, like Rico always preaches, is we got to teach our young people the history so that they know where they're going. And, I think that's the most important thing. But the financial part is tied to everything, because without the financial support or the financial means, we disproportionately are affected. You know, with the environments we live, the change that we can have, the food we eat, the medical, everything is tied to the finances. So I think that's very important. As we wrap this up, just want to say thank you guys for coming on, being our hidden gems. This was a very, very, very beautiful segment, dynamic group of people. This one is going to probably top all. Thanks, Simone. We also just want to say, you know, we are about empowering our community. This Thursday, we want everybody to tune in. We have a sister from Oakland that's going to come on. She's going to be teaching the steps into home ownership, the process. We have a lot of people that's been going through our financial literacy series. We have a lot of people who've been getting their finances right, getting their credit right. We have credit repair people come on, and a lot of people are in that process ready to buy a home. So instead of going as a first-time home buyer to going blind, we have an amazing sister that's going to come on and teach the steps to the home buying process. And then she's going to follow up with the contract process. After you finally pick the house you want, the steps that you need to take in the contract to understand the contract, because a lot of times that's where we lose at. We don't understand the whole process, or we just, you know, listen to people. She's going to give us some real intentional, informative information. So tune in this Thursday at 6 p.m. and she's going to teach us these steps. And then this Sunday at 2 p.m., we're going to have our live community conversation. We're talking about mental health and health and wellness in our Black and brown community. We have some psychologists, some clinicians, some nurses, some great individuals that have background and experiences in mental health. And we're going to have that hard conversation with our community. So please tune in for that. And with all that being said, thanks for tuning in. Share, start a watch party. Let's get this information out. And then Rico, you could close out with your thoughts and the final statements.
I just want to thank everybody once again. Everybody said some amazing stuff, a powerful panel. I don't know if we're going to be able to top this, top this one, but, you know, I mean, I think everybody does amazing work for what they do. Let's build on this collaboration and figure out how we can collaborate with each other to continue the work that we all do. Thanks everybody out there for watching both sides of the conversation, because we know through conversation, that's how we create communication, and through communication, that's how we heal. So thank you all so much. We love you. Y'all have an amazing night.
All right, you guys, the live is ended here.